Alright guys, today we are going to learn how to do the Andy Warhol effect. And it's kind of an effect that a lot of picture modifiers use if they want like an artistic aspect for their picture, okay? So the first thing that we want to do is we want to pick a picture that has kind of a white background and has, I would say, kind of like a portrait effect. So I'm going to pick this guy. So he's just a guy looking to the left. He's got a white background, and we're going to make it look like the Andy Warhol effect. All right. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to rename or duplicate the layer and rename it copy. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to add a couple of adjustment layers, and the adjustment layers are right down here by your raster mask. And I'm going to put on a black and white, which this photo is already basically black and white. But if you don't have one that's black and white, you want to do that. So you want to turn it to black and white, turn off your properties. And then you want to add on another one, and this is a threshold. This is basically just turning every pixel to just straight black or straight white. And it's right here. And what you want to do here is this little slider, you want to like go until you kind of see some detail. Like I want to see his eye, the outline of his nose I want to see. And this is really up to you, but I like to have it so you can see a lot of detail. Now if you went to all the way here, it would be all black. If you went to here, it'd basically be all white. So I want to be kind of like right in the middle where I can see his features. That looks good to me, so I'm going to turn off properties. Okay. The next thing that I want to do is I want to add a layer. And when you add a layer, if I added a layer here, it'd be between copy and black and white. I want to make sure this layer is on top. So I'm going to add a new layer on top of mine, and I'm going to go layer, and I want my layer to be blue, so I'm going to paint bucket tool it, and it should turn blue. That's okay. Don't worry about it. It looks like it's going to cover up the whole thing. That's what we want it to do. Now we're going to add some blend modes, and these are all different blend modes or blend modes that you can use on each layer. And you can mess with these when we're on different projects, and they kind of help when you put in a picture into another picture how to blend it in a little bit more. And we're going to go over those a little bit more later on. But today we're just using the subtract, and then we want to go over here above our layers, and this is subtract as well. Okay, subtract, and it turns it yellow. So we subtracted that blue from the layer, so we subtracted it 2 times, and that's what we got. So we got our color in our picture. Now we want to put these layers all into one, and how you do that again is hold down shift with your top layer selected, click the other layers, and then press Control E. Now if you only have 2 layers, remember you can press Control E to merge those layers. Now what we want to do is we want to put in a blank white canvas to make our Andy Warhol effect. So we're going to go to File, Open, File New, I'm sorry, File New, and we want to go to Print A4, but we don't want it up and down. We don't want it like this. We want it in landscape. So you press this little button with the up and down arrows. We want it in landscape. So I'm going to press Create, and it has our canvas. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use our Move tool on our person, and we're going to move him to this picture. All right. And what we want to do next is we want to turn our transform controls on, and we want to hold down shift while we drag it in so it's uniform while we're dragging it in. And we want to size our picture into a corner of the canvas. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn our transform controls off. We're going to duplicate this layer. We're going to duplicate it, and then we're going to move that one into this corner. We're going to duplicate it one more time. Go to this corner. We're going to duplicate it one last time to fill in that last corner. You guys are probably seeing this come together now as the Andy Warhol effect. You might have seen this a few. Sorry, I went up a little bit too high. And then for this one, I want to go up just a little bit. Right there. All right. You might have seen this around, but this is called the Andy Warhol effect. And all of these pictures we want to be in different colors. And how we're going to do that is we're going to change the hue in each layer. So I want to change this one. So I'm going to select my layer, what has a little guy in the upper right-hand corner. Now I'm going to go up to Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation. We're not going to mess with the saturation because look, that just takes out the color or brings back the color. Okay, so we're going to leave it back at 0. We're going to change the hue of the yellow. And the hue of the yellow can change from green to dark green to light green to blue to light blue and to dark blue. All right? And the other way, I can change all these colors as well. So that's just changing the hue of the pixels. So I'm going to go to, let's go to like light blue. I'm going to press OK. Then I'm going to go to my next one, the lower left hand, and I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go the other way, though. I'm going to make this one red. Press OK. I'm going to go to the next one, the lower right, and I'm going to Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation. And I want this one to be, let's see here. Yeah, we'll go purple. Press OK. Then, of course, we want to merge our layers. Hold down Shift, press Control E, and now we have our picture of the Andy Warhol effect of our picture. It's pretty cool. It's pretty artistic. This is one of those that a lot of students wanted to print out and have for themselves. So if you want to, let me know. All right, but that's the Andy Warhol effect. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.